Today we are going to be discussing the chakra system. We're also going to focus on a meditation at the end, and this is going to help you to align and balance your chakras. And once we go through the information this evening, you'll understand how important it is to really pay attention to your energy field, to how you're feeling, to symptoms that may correlate with chakra imbalances. What you're going to find is that healing usually takes place first in the energetic body, the subtle body, what we would call our auric field. And it works its way down, down, down to the physical body. I have a lot of good visuals this evening to take advantage of. I will post these online for you as well. And I'll send you an email after to give you the link there so you can check it out. You'll have just another moment to orient yourself. And go ahead and check out the screen here. Now, my name is Lee Woodard. I am a mental health coach. I've actually been doing, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll post the recording. I've actually been doing coaching for about 20 years now in some capacity, mental health coaching for about the last 10 years. I am a certified hypnotherapist as well. So I do a lot of hypnotherapy. I do a lot of meditation, and I do a lot of reprogramming. Now, I don't want to scare you when I say that, folks. We've all been programmed to some degree, and a lot of us are waking up to the programming out there in the world, and we're becoming more in touch, more grounded, more connected to source, right? And we want to be more connected. Where spiritual aspect in us is awakening, and that's probably why you're here this evening. Because not only do you want to know, you have the yearning and the desire to understand, but you want to implement, right? You want to have that stronger connection. You want to see your energy work out for your benefit. And folks, working on your chakra system, understanding how it works, understanding how to balance it is a fantastic place to start. I am also a Reiki master, and if you have any questions about Reiki or energy healing on the whole, definitely let me know. I am pretty much an open book, and there's a lot of great information out there about energy healing. I actually do use different types of gems and stones in my healing as well. So you get the full benefit there of everything that the earth has to offer, everything that Source has given us here to connect us, to ground us, to energize us, and to give us that healing that we're looking for. So again, today, folks, we are going to be focusing on energy flow, right? That's what the chakra system is all about. And I have a couple of different visuals here to give you a full perspective of what we're looking at. Now, when we're talking about the human body, our chakra system is the way that energy flows through and helps flow around you. It's the fundamental basis of what connects the human body, the physical 3D form, to the energetic body, the subtle bodies around you, right? Some call it your magnetic field, some call it your aura. But this is also going to connect you to source. So that's what the main function of the chakras are. Now you can see here on the left side, we're going to be focusing a little bit more today on the 7 major chakras. And these are the ones that connect us to our 3D body. Again, these are the ones that align the spinal column. These are going to be the ones that you've heard about the most probably when you've heard of the chakra system. And these starting at the base of the spine are the root chakra. And we'll talk about their function in just a moment. This is where the base, the tailbone sits. Then we have the sacral chakra, and this is where all of your reproductive organs are housed. If you think about that general area. The solar plexus chakra is going to be right there in the middle of the torso. So just right at the level or right there above the level of the navel. The heart chakra, of course, is going to be right there hovering above the heart in the rib cage. The throat chakra right there in the midline of the throat. The third eye is going to be right between the eyes, just slightly an inch or so above the line of the brow. And then, of course, we have the crown chakra, which hovers right there above the head. And this is going to be your connection to the other chakras in your auric field that actually go directly to source. So already just with the fundamental 7 main chakras here, you can see how an imbalance somewhere would kink the chain, right? We'd have some sort of imbalance. It's going to affect not just that one area, but it's going to affect a lot of other areas, and it's going to spread outward and affect your energetic body. Now, this picture here on the right just gives you an idea of other chakras and their general location in your body. And again, folks, the human body has over 100 chakras. We're just going over some of the most common ones. But this kind of give you an understanding of, different types of pain, different types of symptoms that may show up. For instance, sometimes when you have a root chakra imbalance, you may start to notice that you feel a little shaky. Maybe you don't feel very grounded in yourself. Maybe you don't feel very grounded in reality. Maybe you don't feel very financially stable, right? And sometimes if you have, say, an imbalance in one of the lesser chakras, you can see over here in the right-hand side. Let's take the knee, for instance. You may have some knee pain going on there, and you may be able to relate that back to things like jealousy and envy and feelings of strife, right? So the chakras, understanding the chakra system, understanding how energy flows in the body, and understanding the connection of energy to the physical body and how it all comes together into your auric field, it's very valuable information. And again, as you can see here, when we talk about energy healing, we're talking about healing from the outside, the energetic field, all the way down to the physical body. And you'll understand in just a moment when we discuss energy flow. So check it out here, folks. This is a really great illustration of how energy flows through the chakra system. You can think about it kind of like a funnel. So we have a funnel on one side of the body, we have a funnel on the other side of the body, and the energy actually flows in that funnel-like pattern in opposite directions. So what happens is you get a vortex, a powerful energy flow here, and it expands outward into your energetic field. And this is what makes up your energetic field. This is what your aura is comprised of. You can see here that we have a pretty big funnel going down into the earth. This is what connects us with Terra, Mother Earth, right? And we have a pretty big funnel going up into the heavens. And this is what's going to connect us to all of those other chakras and links to the source, to all that there is. And again, folks, lots of good visuals in here. I'll definitely send you the visuals so you have a good idea. Now, if we're talking about Eastern medicine, right? We're talking about Hinduism. We're talking about a lot of Eastern philosophies. If you look at what they believe about the energy system and you see how it all plays in with the chakras, it's really pretty powerful. So here we have the nadis, and the nadis are different energies that flow throughout the body, our main energy sources. And if you can see here, we have the Pingala nadi and we have the Ida nadi. Now, what's interesting about these two flows of energy is that every time they connect, they come together, they weave in and out of the midline of the body along the spine. Every time they come together, they intersect at a chakra. So it's very interesting when we see all of the different Eastern philosophies come together, right? And we overlap them on top of each other. Our nadis actually come from a lot of our yoga practices. And here on the right side of the screen here, you can see our meridians. And a lot of our meridians come from Eastern medicine practices, things like acupuncture and acupressure and Chinese medicine. They all intertwine. Isn't that interesting? Lots and lots of different belief systems are coming together here to really give us a very clear picture of how energy actually flows. Now, as you're looking here and you're seeing the nadis, it's important to note that it kind of looks like a little bit like the Kundalini, the flow of the Kundalini energy that sits at the base of the spine. And as it awakens, It travels up through the different chakras, all the way up, and it energizes and highlights and opens up your third eye chakra, right? Giving you that sense of awareness. And then it comes into and opens up the crown chakra, connecting you to the source of all that there is. This is indeed your awakening. And as you're looking here at how energy flows, can you start to piece together the importance, how it all works, how sophisticated it really is? Now here you can see with our meridians are going to connect different energy flows in the body with different organ systems. And in Chinese medicine, if you've ever, say, had acupuncture or you've ever studied anything with a lot of your Chinese medicine, but a lot of hot and cold in the body. Chinese medicine is very based on hot and cold. And the premise is that you can use different pressure points here along different meridians to stimulate energy flow or to destimulate energy flow in different organ systems. And that helps us to balance out energy in those organ systems. So if you do see symptoms, right, they start to subside. Again, folks, we hit the subtle bodies, the energy flow, and then we slowly start to see the physical body change for the better. Now, I just want to open up the floor as well for questions. As we're going, if you have anything that you want to touch base on, drop it here in the chat. Now, here you can see how energy flow plays out in the auric field. And we're going to start to talk about the torus. I don't know if you folks have heard of the torus of energy. You may have remember that from a physics class long, long ago, right? But the torus basically gives you a good visual representation of how energy flows in the body. And this is something that science actually does back. So it's not just a spiritual thing. There's also quite a bit of science behind it. Now, here in this first picture, you can see that the energy flow actually goes from the head down through the body, out of the feet, out of the hands, and right back up, creating that torus. And I'll show you a torus picture in just a moment. And again, all of this is going to be based on your chakra system, your 7 main chakras that line the spine. So slowly and slowly, we're building on the complexity here of your auric field. All of these things play into your auric field. On the right side, you can kind of see a little bit more of a visual representation of how the auric field starts to develop. And there's many, many, many layers to the auric field, depending on what you believe or the belief system, right? There's all kinds of different belief system that says our auric field is comprised of maybe 22 layers. Others believe it's 15 layers. Others may believe it's 12 layers. The most important takeaway here is that we clearly see that we have an energetic body that surrounds us. This is called our subtle body, and that there are clear layers to it that connect not only to the physical form, but also to the energy outside of our physical form. This is where our spiritual and our auric field comes into play. Now, all of these names are, they're interesting to learn. But again, the most important takeaway here, folks, is you can clearly see on this right side that as we're healing the outside, as we're healing the subtle bodies, it's going to have a direct impact on the physical form. But it does take a little bit of time. This is why when some folks come and they do a Reiki session, they feel really great, right? Maybe they feel like they've cleared a lot of things. Maybe they feel like they've cleared a lot of trauma. Maybe the physical body doesn't necessarily show it quite yet, but they feel it. They feel it energetically. And then as they go about their normal routine in the days and the weeks and the months that follow, they start to notice that the physical form starts to heal. It starts to become better. The physical energy in the actual body itself and the symptoms they once were experiencing, they start to subside. And as you can see, this is why, right? We have a lot of layers here in the subtle bodies that we come through in order to get the healing in the physical body. So if you've ever done Reiki before, you've ever had any sort of energy healing, and you feel like, it didn't quite work, right? It didn't quite take for me. I want you to challenge that idea and start to think back over the things that you saw change in these energetic fields, right? Maybe your emotions improved. Maybe you weren't as ruffled by stressors. The stressors didn't change, but how you handle them, your perception of them, your awareness changed, right? When we start to really dig deep and we start to look at the energetic bodies and these subtle bodies here, the auric field, we can start to actually correlate quite a bit of personal growth and spiritual growth, especially if you've been chipping away at that block for quite some time. So I encourage you to start looking elsewhere other than the physical body for proof that you are spiritually growing. Now, this next slide is just showing you how this plays out in real time, right? This is just showing you a general overview of what the aura may look like. Now, the colors are going to be different from person to person, the intensity, how big one color is to the next, right? Your different subtle bodies are represented by each individual color here. And again, it's going to be different from person to person. But the biggest takeaway here is to see how those chakras really do form the auric field around you. And think about it, folks, when you are high vibrating, right? Maybe you're thinking more positively. Maybe you're doing more meditation. Maybe you're really focusing on bettering yourself, on expanding your awareness. When you're vibrating high, your auric field is expanded. That means it's bigger, right? It gets bigger all around you. Think about the impact that has on other people around you. It's pretty powerful. And again, it affects those subtle bodies first. Likewise, think about the impact of maybe those negative thoughts and emotions and spending a lot of time in those lower vibrational states. It shrinks down your auric field, right? So this is why it's important for us to clear. This is why it's important for us to remove blockages and to really set ourselves up with different types of behavior patterns that are going to reinforce balance in our lives. Now, this next slide is just giving you another version of what that auric field looks like. This actually came from the Emerald Tablets, if you're familiar with Thoth, and the Emerald Tablets are the Freedom Teachings. And this just puts it all into perspective for you here in one visual. Again, you can see the funnels of the chakras. You can see how all of that energy vortex is outward, but also inward towards the human form. And you can see the auric field. And again, the takeaway here is that the auric field is connected to the chakras. The energy flow in the auric field comes back in the body to align with those chakras. There's a lot of other information here. And if this appeals to you folks, I highly encourage you to look into it. It's a lot of good, interesting reading. So how do we find that balance, right? Especially when we know that we're seeing or we're feeling disturbances. Now, first, before we find the balance, what do we know about it, right? How would it look if we were to see something balanced versus being imbalanced? Well, sometimes we can't necessarily see the aura. Now, we have devices that can read your aura, that can read your energy print. It's called a BioWell. We do these readings in our office. But I wanted to give you a good reading so that you can see the difference between someone who's symptomatic, who has some problems, whether it be, I'm experiencing shortness of breath, or I'm having a chest pain, or whether it be knee issues or hip problems. These symptoms can appear in a lot of different ways, or whether it be emotional disturbances or mental imbalances, right? So right here in the middle, you can see the aura of a healthy person. This was taken on the BioWell reading. And you can see that pretty much everywhere around this person, their aura is thick and strong, right? There's no breaks in the aura. There's no energy imbalances that we can see. Everything looks pretty balanced here. Now, when someone has a blockage in a chakra, you may see that show up here on the left-hand side, right? There's holes here in the aura. You can clearly see that there's energy imbalances going on here. And when we do biowell readings and we read the energy map, depending on where the energy imbalance is located, we can actually pinpoint here is the issue within your physical body. And it's really accurate, folks. It's pretty interesting, the feedback that we get. But just to give you some idea, now, what are some things that block our chakras? Right? Well, there's lots of different things that block our chakras, mostly limiting beliefs, negative belief patterns, limiting beliefs about yourself, right? And really not believing that you have everything that source has to offer. That can block some of our chakras and it can produce an imprint that looks like this. Now, something else that can really block our chakras are substances. And I just want to throw this out here, folks. It's a big topic. I deal with this a lot in my coaching. Alcohol, particularly spirits, a lot of times when we do scans, we see this show up. It punctures holes in the aura, and you literally can see the energy leaking out, right? So just throwing that out there. Now, if you're looking on the right-hand side, this person also would have symptoms. Maybe they have a digestive system that's in overdrive, right? Or maybe they see that their mind's always racing, or they have some other symptoms where the body's working a little bit in overdrive. And you can clearly see that there is an imbalance here, right? The outside of the aura, we don't have that nice balance, that nice visual across the board. We can clearly see that there are some things out of whack. And again, depending on where that's located, if you're interested, the biowell can actually tell you what's going on in your energy systems and in your organ systems. It's pretty fairly accurate. Now, when we're talking about finding that balance, what does it look like? Well, to know what balance looks like, sometimes we have to know what imbalance looks like, right? And I present to you a really, really fantastic chart to help you get there. Now, if you're studying chakras, this is a really great visual. You have the different types of chakras here on the left-hand side. We'll start with the bottom. This is the root, again, followed by the sacral chakra. And all of your symbols here are the Sanskrit for that particular chakra, all the way up to the crown. So how do you know when you're imbalanced? Well, oftentimes we can look at the different chakra. And again, we're focusing on these 7 chakras here. These are going to be the ones that you're going to hear about the most. And when we feel unstable, when we have anxiety, when we have excessive amounts of fear, panic, these types of things, these are things that shake the very foundation, right? These are things that shake the very security that we feel. So oftentimes we're going to see that show up in the root chakra. Oftentimes that means that our root chakra is imbalanced. What can we do about it, right? Well, we focus on meditation, we focus on grounding meditation, and we focus on things that are going to help with anxiety and fear outlets. We start to challenge what fear actually is. And what is it, folks? It's a limiting belief. It's a belief that your needs are not going to be met, right? It's a belief that something is not going to work out to your benefit. It's a belief that limits you and it stops your personal growth. And that's why that groundedness and that insecure, that ungroundedness, we'll say, and that insecurity pops up when we have root chakra instability. Now, the sacral chakra is a big one. This is a powerful one too. This is where our sexual energy lies. And oftentimes when you have a healthy sacral chakra, you're going to see a lot of creativity. You're going to see a lot of joy in what you do. You're going to see a lot of passion, right? You're going to feel it. You're going to see a lot of flow in your work. Now, how do we know when the sacral is out of whack? Well, you might see a lot of emotional instability, right? You might see a lack of creativity. Maybe you have a writer's block. That's a really good one. That's probably the most applicable for some of us. Also, folks, just as a side note, oftentimes we join ourselves to others with that sacral energy, that sexual energy, right? And sometimes you may see this as a symptom that's showing up for you. Where we want to join is going to be the heart, right? And oftentimes when we're joining with other people with that sexual energy, we're creating that instability, right? Because the connection there while it may be a good connection, the connection there isn't heart strong, right? So we might even see some of these things show up there. That's where a lot of unstable emotions, that's where a lot of relationship issues come from. Moving on to the solar plexus, this is your gut instinct. And we've all been there, right? We've all felt that gut instinct kick in, whether it's a good thing, whether it's something that's we're being warned about, whatever it may be. This is also where your confidence, your purpose in life comes from, your connection to the physical purpose here in this plane of existence. When you're shaky in your solar plexus, you're going to be shaky in yourself, right? Think about that. My self-esteem is going to be lower. What I think I can do is going to be a lot less, right? I'm going to have lack of control over myself. And oftentimes, anger shows up very heavily in the solar plexus. So if you're dealing with anger issues, highly encourage you to look into releasing whatever blockage you have in that solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus, folks, is also where we make ties with other people, right? So if you find that maybe you're connected to somebody and you know that connection maybe isn't a good one, maybe it isn't serving you, break that connection here in the solar plexus. And you can do that by verbally calling your energy back, breaking that cord that's connected to that person, and believing that your connection is severed. That's it. That's all that's required. Moving on to the heart chakra. This is one that we feel a lot. This is the love chakra, right? We all feel that strong emotion in our heart. We may also feel it in the solar plexus as well. We may feel that in the form of butterflies in the stomach. The heart and the solar plexus are actually very closely connected, particularly when it comes to feelings of love and intimacy. When we feel balanced in the heart chakra, we're going to feel loved and we're going to want to give love, right? We're going to be compassionate, not just to other people, but also to ourselves. We're going to be flexible. We're going to be more able to forgive and let go. And this is vital, folks, because if you're holding on to things like anxiety, anger, right? That forgiveness is going to be a savior for you. It's going to be a help for you because you're releasing all of that negative energy that you're holding in that chakra. That's what forgiveness does. Now, if we have a burdened heart chakra, you may feel a lot of ill emotions, right? Maybe you have excessive grief. And a lot of times we do feel that excessive grief when we're mourning the loss of something. It could be a relationship, it could be a special person, it could be a job, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, it could be something tangible. You're also going to see jealousy, right? Show up. You're going to covet. Oftentimes we see that in the heart chakra. We also see a lot of cold-hearted types of behavior patterns, right? Sociopathic behavior patterns, oftentimes we see when the heart chakra is blocked. Does chakra energy change day to day, or does it take a long time to get disrupted as well as balanced? That's a great question. And the answer is it can change day to day, right? It really depends on a lot of different factors, including, folks, who you're surrounding yourself with and the environment that you're in, right? If we go back to that visual of the energy coming out from us in that auric field, and we think about the fact that the auric field has to change first before we see the impact on the physical form. Now, think about those around you. They have their own auric field. They've got their own energy going on. They've got their own blockages or balances or whatever. So think about the impact that that auric field is going to have when it comes into contact with yours. And this could be anybody that's around you. Right now, we're just creating that awareness. I don't want to scare anybody, right? Because you can do things that are going to help your own auric field. You can do things that are going to protect you as well. But definitely think about the impact that's going to have. So in answer to your question, yes, your auric field or your energy flow can change. Absolutely. It can change on a daily basis. Absolutely. It can change on a minute by minute basis. What it really comes down to is your thoughts, right? Your mindset. How are you taking your thoughts captive? How are you continuing to reset your focus and drop those limiting belief patterns? And how are you continuing to focus on love, right? That's really what it boils down to. And that's what the meditation is going to help us do. Great question. Moving on up here, we get to the throat chakra. Now, this is where your voice comes into play, right? And you may have heard people say, well, if you have a blocked throat chakra, it means you're not speaking your truth. Well, there's some truth to that, right? But sometimes we can speak our truth and we still feel like our throat chakra is crowded. And why? Well, because we don't feel like people are hearing our truth. We don't feel seen and heard. We don't feel adequately represented, right? No matter how much you speak your truth, sometimes you may feel that way, and that's okay. You can work it out. Now, when we have a clear or a balanced throat chakra, oftentimes we're going to speak very clearly. We're going to advocate for ourselves with love, right? We're going to be truthful, and we're really going to be expressive. You're not going to have a hard time communicating with people. You're not going to have a hard time expressing yourself and getting whatever those needs met are that you need from someone else. Now, when the throat chakra is out of balance, right, you're not going to want to advocate for yourself. You're going to shy away from that. And oftentimes, you're not going to think that you're worth it. A lot of times, you're going to have difficulty expressing yourself, difficulty getting your point across. And oftentimes, we're going to have, little white lies here and there, right? Because you don't feel confident enough in speaking your truth. So you're just going to go with the flow and say whatever you feel you need to get by in the moment. And a lot of us have been there and done that. A really great way to clear out your throat chakra is not only to speak your truth, but to speak truth in general, right? Let the voice of truth always flow from you, no matter what the consequences are. And your throat chakra is always going to be open. Moving on up, we get to the third eye. And this is one that you hear talked about a lot, particularly in reference to meditation. Now, our third eye is the chakra of intuition. This is the chakra of insightfulness, of true connection to all that there is and all possibilities of what can be out there. Now, folks, it's important to note when we get to the third eye, you are the master of your ship, right? You are the charter of your own course. And that's essentially what a balanced third eye allows you to be. You get that intuitive information from yourself and from things around you within your energetic field. You get that intuitive connection and information from source, right? Now, when your third eye is blocked, you're going to have a lack of focus. You're also going to feel disconnected. Oftentimes, you may get headaches, and actually, um, headaches can be either or. Headaches can come when your third eye opens, especially if it's a new phenomenon for you or you're recently awakening. And headaches can also come when your third eye is closed shut. So that can be an either or there. All right, lastly, we have the crown chakra. Now, this one actually isn't necessarily within the spinal column. It's actually hovering right above the head. And a great way to open the crown chakra, or a great way to, let's say, excite the crown chakra, is actually to do some tapping right there on the crown of your head, right there in the middle of your skull. If you've ever heard of emotional freedom technique, this is tapping, right? And there's different types of points that you tap on. Interestingly enough, when you tap, you're tapping on some of those chakra points. You're tapping on some of those meridian lines, right? Some of the places that you may have an acupressure or an acupuncture point. And it's meant to stimulate energy in that area. Just as a side note, see how it all comes together, folks. It's very interesting. Now, when your crown chakra is out of whack, you may see that, again, you're disconnected and you feel disconnected on a very deep level. Maybe you feel like there's a big gaping hole somewhere and you can't quite fill it and you don't really know why, right? Maybe you feel depression. Maybe you feel complete isolation. Maybe you don't quite feel yourself, or maybe you feel like you're not even you, right? A lot of times we can have that disconnect feeling. When your crown chakra is in balance, you're going to have that spiritual connection. You're going to know who you are. You're going to know that that connection is there, and you're going to be confident in it. A lot of times we'll see a level of bliss, a level of euphoria, right, that we don't normally see. And a lot of times we'll feel enlightened, extra aware. Layers of the awareness onion start to peel back, and we really see reality for exactly what it is. So there you have it, folks. This is how we can tell when the chakras are balanced or imbalanced. So now what we're going to do is a simple meditation. And this is something that you can take away with you. You can do it on your own as well. And the goal here is to reshift the energy, clear any blockages from your body, particularly those 7 main energy chakras, and to balance, right? So let's go ahead and find a comfortable position. This is a meditation, so make sure that your area is free of distractions. Make sure that you're comfortable. I'll give you just a moment. Just sink into the peace and the stillness around you. This is a time for you to connect with the source of all there is, a time to breathe, a time to center yourself, and a time to be one with this present moment. Sink into your surroundings, sink into your chair. Take a nice big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice, slow, and rhythmic. And just observe your breath as it flows in and as it flows out. In and out. With every inhale, breathing in that life force energy. With every exhale, sinking deeper into your surroundings. Grounding yourself wherever you are. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel your lungs fill up completely with air. And hold the breath for just a moment. And now slowly exhale through your mouth, letting go of any tension, any stress, anything in this moment that does not serve you. Just let it go. Focus on a deep breath in again through the nose, filling up your lungs, holding for just a moment. And now slowly release the air out of your mouth, sinking deeper into relaxation. In through the nose, fill your lungs with air, hold that breath. Slowly exhale out of your mouth, releasing any limiting beliefs, anything weighing you down today, let it go. And now breathe on your own. Don't force it, just be an observer. The breath coming and going. Allow yourself to be fully present right now, in this moment. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Notice how the air feels entering and leaving your body. Feel the cool air as you inhale and the warm air as you exhale. Your breath is your anchor. It brings you back to the present moment. And as you continue to breathe deeply and slowly. Now imagine with each exhale, you are releasing anything left that doesn't serve you, any ill energy, any belief pattern, any negative thoughts, any worries, distractions, any thoughts of the past or the future. Just drop that all now and leave it here. With each inhale, imagine drawing in fresh, positive energy that centers you and grounds you in the here and in the now. Now take a moment to scan your body, starting from the top of your head, working your way down the neck, into the shoulders, down into the torso. And as you scan, notice any areas of tension or discomfort. Breathe into these areas, that life force energy. And with each exhale, release that tension. Continue to scan down into the hips, into the legs, noticing any tension or discomfort and releasing it. With every breath, you feel your body becoming more and more relaxed, more and more free. Now simply rest here in the stillness, right here, in this moment of relaxation, in this moment of being free of what doesn't serve you. Just be at peace right now. As you continue to focus on your breath, continue to relax. I want you to imagine roots growing from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet, reaching deep into the earth. Feel the grounding energy of the earth flowing up through these roots, stabilizing and centering you. Think about the root chakra at the base of your spine. Think about that energy coming up from the roots, from the earth, traveling into the root chakra. Visualize a vibrant red light glowing at the base of your spine. Now imagine this light growing stronger and brighter, clearing away any blockages. You feel grounded and secure and confident. Now visualize the energy moving up from the root into the sacral chakra, the area of your reproductive organs. Feel the energy there now. Visualize a warm orange light glowing in this area. And as the light intensifies, it clears away any stagnant energy, any blockages, anything that doesn't belong, any energetic debris. You feel more creative and passionate, and you feel this energy freely flow, a bright, warm orange. Now feel the energy continue to rise and shift your focus to your solar plexus, right there just above the navel. Feel the warm energy glowing a bright yellow, shining like the sun. And as this light grows, it dissolves any fears or doubts, anything that doesn't serve you, any energetic connection or cord that you have with another that no longer serves you. This yellow light dissolves it, clearing and empowering you. You feel confident. You feel powerful. Now feel the energy yet continue to rise. Bring your attention to the center of your chest, right there in the heart space. As you breathe in, feel the energy rise. And as you exhale, see the glowing green light expand from your heart space. The green gets brighter and brighter with every breath. Feel the breath moving in and out of this green light, clearing away any pain, any resentment, filling you with love, compassion, and forgiveness. Feel that love and compassion and forgiveness for yourself. Release anything in those areas that you're holding against yourself right now. Feel the glowing green light expanding even more outward into your auric field, projecting love and peace and self-forgiveness. And now continue to feel the energy rise up into the throat chakra. Shift your focus to your throat area. Imagine a pure blue light swirling in your throat chakra. And as it gets brighter and brighter, it removes any blockages, any energetic debris, anything holding you back. from speaking the truth. You feel powerful in your expression of thought. You feel powerful and empowered to clearly and truthfully advocate for yourself. And now continue to feel the energy rise even more, up, up, and direct your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Visualize a deep indigo light shining from your third eye here, opening up awareness, pulling back the curtain, allowing you to understand and see things very clearly. And as this light strengthens, it clears away any illusions, clearing any confusion, enhancing your intuition, and allowing for more insight. Feel your connection to your intuition right now. Feel its ability to guide you, to get you to what's your best. And now, yet you feel that energy continue to rise, continue to clear and balance and energize. And finally, focus on the top of your head. Imagine a brilliant white light radiating from your crown chakra, right there, just above your head. This light connects you to the divine, the source of all there is. You are connected to the source of all there is. Your supply is the source of all there is. As you focus on feeling your crown chakra open, feeling the energy intensify, feeling the radiating white light from your crown chakra, feel it clearing any spiritual blockages and opening up to higher wisdom for you. Feel the expansion right now. Feel the connection to the source of all there is right now. Now, I'd like for you to visualize a bubble of pure golden light surrounding your entire body. This bubble is strong, impenetrable, and protects you from any negative energy or any negative influence. As you breathe in, imagine this bubble becoming more solid and radiant and resilient, forming a protective barrier that keeps you safe and secure. It allows you to continue to move forward towards whatever you want out of this life, knowing that you are fully connected to the source of all there is, knowing that at any time you can clear blockages in your energy. You have access. Now, once more, shift your focus back to your grounding roots, coming out of your legs and out of your feet, into the ground and into the earth itself. Ensure that you feel fully connected to the earth. You are fully grounded. And now I'd like for you to shift focus to gratitude for yourself. Thank yourself and love yourself for taking this time for you to heal, to understand, and to gain more awareness of who you are and what you have access to. Express gratitude for the healing energy that you've received today. And whenever you're ready, just begin to slowly bring your attention back to your breath, breathing in and out, feeling so good, feeling balanced. You can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes and orient yourself to the present moment. Now, I will upload this meditation for you. And remember, you can repeat this meditation whenever you need to in order to clear blockages, to sever any ill-gotten connection that you may have with somebody or something else, and to reset yourself